and we'll be starting lying down this morning. So soles of the feet to the mat, and gently release your back down to the mat. And we'll place the hands on the belly. Bring your eyes to a gentle close. And let's take 3 very deep conscious breaths. Inhaling through the nose. And then open your mouth and release everything out on a sigh. Inhale deeply through the nose. Open the mouth and release. One last time. Inhale deep, deep through the nose and then open the mouth and release. And feel like on each exhale you're releasing and melting a little bit deeper into the mat. And then we'll bring our attention to our hands now and notice how on each inhale the belly expands and then on an exhale contracts. So just paying attention to this subtle movement, how the breath moves the body. Lovely. And then we'll move our hands to our rib cage. So allow the hands to rest on the ribs and to the outside of the sides of the body. And again, notice how on an inhale, our rib cage expands and how on an exhale it contracts. Noticing these subtle movements and allowing the focus on the breath to just bring us into the present moment and calm our mind and harmonize that relationship between breath and body movement. And then one last time we'll move our hands and we'll place them on our collarbones and on the top of the front part of the shoulders. And again, notice how on an inhale, our hands move up. And on an exhale, everything deflates and contracts. Beautiful. And then we'll release our arms and our hands back down by our sides. And let's just bring the knees into the chest and hug the knees. Just for a moment. And then we'll bring the left sole of the foot down to the mat. We'll keep the right knee into the chest just for a moment. And then we'll place the hands to the back of the right thigh and extend the right leg up towards the ceiling. So the leg can be straight, but if it doesn't straighten completely, you can keep a slight micro bend. This is absolutely fine. And we'll start moving the ankle and drawing some circles in a clockwise direction with our foot. So nice and slow. If you can hear some cracks, that's absolutely normal. Just taking making a slow conscious movement, loosening out the ankle joint. And then we'll reverse the direction of the circles anti-clockwise now. Again, taking it nice and slow. Beautiful. And come to stillness, and we'll flex the foot and then point. Flex, point, flex, point, flex, point. Lovely. And then we'll bring the knee back down into the chest. We'll lengthen the left leg long on the mat. And we'll place our left hand to the outside of the right knee. We'll inhale deeply, and on an exhale, we'll bring that right knee over towards the left, coming into a supine twist. And we'll lengthen the right arm out into a T shape. Our gaze can either be up towards the ceiling or over towards the right hand. And breathe here into the twist. And ensure that your right shoulder remains as close to the mat as possible. Stretching the sides of the body here. Lovely. One more deep breath here. And then we'll make our way back to center. Bring both knees into the chest just for a moment. Hugging the knees. And then we'll do the same on the other side. So this time we'll bring the right sole of the foot down to the mat. Place the hands behind the left thigh and inhale, lengthen the left leg up towards the ceiling. And then circles with the left foot, in a clockwise direction. Taking it nice and slow. Beautiful. And then circles in an anti-clockwise direction. And notice how you can feel the movement in the whole of the leg, even though you're just moving the foot. Lovely. And then we'll come to stillness, flex the left foot, then point. Flex, point, flex, point, flex, point. And then we'll bring the left knee down into the chest. Extend the right leg long on the mat. Bring the right hand to the outside of the left knee. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Bring the left knee over towards the right. And then we'll extend the left arm out into a T shape. Gaze either up towards the ceiling or over towards the left. Again, breathing deeply into the twist. And making sure your left shoulder stays as close to the mat as possible. Lovely, and then we'll make our way back to center, bringing both knees into the chest, hugging the knees just for a moment, place the hands to the back of the thighs and we'll roll up and down on our mat, building up momentum, waking up the spine until we find ourselves in a comfortable cross-legged position. Beautiful. Just take a moment to adjust to being upright again. Perhaps roll the shoulders a little. And then we'll place our right hand down on the mat. Inhale, sweep the left arm up and over. So bringing a lovely stretch in the left-hand side of the body. Exhale, bring the left hand down to the mat. Inhale, sweep the right arm up and over. Lovely. One more on each side, bringing the right hand down, left arm up and over. And then left hand comes down, right arm up and over. Beautiful. And then we'll come back to center and we'll come into all fours. So hips stacking on top of our knees, shoulders stacking on top of our wrists, spreading the palms nice and wide, fingers nice and wide. And we'll take a few cat-cow movements here. So we'll inhale and drop the belly, shine the chest forwards, arching the spine. Exhale, we'll reverse that movement by dropping the head and the neck, rounding the back, bringing the navel up towards the spine. Inhale, cow, arching the spine, dropping the belly, shining the chest forward. Exhale, reverse the movement, doming the back, dropping the head. And just take a few more like this in your own time. Perhaps bringing the eyes to a gentle close as you move. Really feeling into the movement. And more concerned about how it feels rather than how it looks. Take one last round. And then we'll meet again in a neutral tabletop position with our back nice and straight. And we'll prepare for puppy pose. So we'll bring our hands further forward. We'll keep our legs exactly where they are. The legs don't move. Hip points don't move. But with our hands further forward, we'll inhale, and then on an exhale, we'll start melting our forearms, our chest, and eventually our forehead down towards the mat. Bringing a lovely and quite intense stretch to the shoulders and the upper back. Bringing a lovely opening here. So breathe deeply into the pose. out of it, inching the hands back and unpeeling the chest and the forearms off the mat. And we'll meet again in our tabletop, and this time now that our shoulders are nice and open, we'll come up into dog. So prepare for your dog, spreading your fingers nice and wide, tucking all 10 toes under. Inhale deeply, and on an exhale, we'll lift the knees off the mat, extending the legs slowly and steadily until we find ourselves in a downward facing dog. Beautiful. Taking any movement that feels good here. Perhaps bending one knee and then the other. Beautiful. And then let's come to stillness. If you're walking the dog, we'll bring the legs to stillness for a moment. And then we'll inhale, come up onto tiptoes. Exhale, release the heels back down. Inhale, up onto tiptoes. And then release the heels down. One last time, we'll inhale up onto tiptoes, stretching the feet. Exhale, release the heels back down. And then we'll gently walk the feet to meet the hands at the front of the mat. Lovely. When we get here, let's just hang for a moment in a forward fold, allowing the head and the neck to hang loose, keeping the knees as bent as they need to be. And then we'll gently make our way up to standing by very gradually unraveling, rolling up vertebra by vertebra until the very last thing to come up is the head. Lovely. And just take a few moments when you arrive into your mountain pose to just readjust to being standing upright. Perhaps give your legs and your arms a little bit of a shake. Beautiful. And then we'll come to stillness, and we'll step back with our right foot. So we want to open out quite wide on the mat. So our left foot will be facing forward, facing the front of the mat. Whilst our right foot, we want to bring it into warrior two pose. So the right foot will be pointing roughly at 1 or 2 o'clock. Back leg nice and strong. And for now, let's also extend the left leg. Keep that leg nice and straight. Beautiful. So both our legs are nice and straight. We'll bring the hands into prayer at heart center. Beautiful. We'll inhale deeply, and on an exhale, we'll extend our arms out as if we were pushing the walls away from us. And as we do so, let's bend the left leg. Lovely. Coming into warrior two. Inhale, we'll bring the hands back to prayer and extend the left leg again. Exhale, pushing the walls away, bending the left leg. Inhale, again we'll bring everything back to center, extend the left leg. Exhale, push everything away, extending the arms, bending the left leg. And now let's hang here just for a few breaths in our warrior two. So bringing the gaze over the left middle finger, Stretching the arms out. Almost imagine as if someone was pulling the arms in opposite directions. Left leg nice and bent. Back leg strong. Breathing deeply into the pose. Lovely. And then we'll bring the hands down to the hips. Let's extend the left leg. And then we'll swivel the feet so that they're parallel with the short edges of the mat. Inhale deeply, hinging at the hips, and on an exhale, we'll fold forward. Wide-legged forward fold. Beautiful. Let the head and the neck hang loose. Bend the knees as much as you need here. And completely release the upper body. Lovely. And then we'll walk the hands over towards the front of the mat, pivoting the feet so that you come into a low lunge position. Beautiful. Press into the hands and step back with the left foot, plank pose. Beautiful. Then we'll release the knees down to the mat, untuck the toes, and come down to the mat. Thighs, belly, chest, forehead. Beautiful. Press into the hands and into the tops of the feet. Inhale, low cobra, peeling the forehead and the chest off the mat. Exhale, come back down to the mat with your chest and forehead. And then we'll tuck all 10 toes under. Press into the hands. Come up through tabletop and then downward facing dog. Beautiful. Take one breath here in your dog and then we'll walk the feet to meet the hands at the front of the mat. We'll bring the hands to the shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forwards. And then on an inhale, we'll sweep the arms and unravel up into a mountain pose, sweeping the arms up to the sky, bringing them into prayer. Exhale, bring the prayer down to heart center. Beautiful. And then let's do the same on the other side. So this time we're stepping back with our left foot, nice and wide. Right foot facing forwards. Left foot will bring at around 10, 11 o'clock roughly. Legs are nice and strong and extended for now. Bring the hands to prayer at heart center. Inhale deeply. Exhale, we'll push the walls away. And as we do so, we'll bend the right knee. Inhale, bring everything back to center, extending the right leg. Exhale, pushing away, bending the right knee. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, push the walls away. And then we'll hang here for a few breaths in our warrior two. So arms nice and extended, gaze along the right middle finger, nice bend in the right knee. Back leg strong, really pressing into the mat. Taking a few deep conscious breaths here. Lovely. And then we'll bring the hands to the hips. We'll extend the legs, swivel the feet so that they're parallel with the short edge of the mat. inhale deeply, exhale, we'll hinge at the hips and fold forward. Nice wide-legged forward fold. Feeling that lovely stretch in the hamstrings and allowing the head and the neck and the whole of the upper body to relax and hang loose. Beautiful. And then we'll gently walk our hands back towards the front of the mat. And as you do so, we'll pivot the feet so you end up in that lunge pose. And we'll press into the hands, step back with the right foot, high plank, drop the knees, untuck the toes, and come down to the mat. Thighs, belly, chest, forehead. Press into the tops of the feet, into the hands. Inhale, low cobra. Peeling the forehead and the chest off the mat. Exhale, release back down to the mat. And then tuck all 10 toes. Press into the hands and come up through tabletop and then up into dog. Taking any final movements you wish to take here in your downward facing dog. And then when you're ready to, we'll all meet down into child's pose. So knees nice and wide on the mat. Release the torso in between the thighs. Bringing the forehead to the mat. Arms nice and long. And just allow the practice to wash over you here. Taking a moment to reconnect with the breath. Lovely, and then we'll gently walk the hands back towards the knees. And we'll find ourselves in either comfortable kneeling position or just seated cross-legged. Beautiful. And let's just inhale and bring the shoulders up towards the ears. Squeeze, 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 and then release and drop everything on a side. One more like this. Inhale, squeeze up towards the ears and release. Nice loud sigh. One last time. We'll inhale, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Shoulders up towards the ears and release, letting everything go. Beautiful. And then gently we'll inhale, sweep the arms up, gazing at the fingertips, bringing the hands into prayer. And then we'll move that prayer down to the forehead for kind thoughts, down to heart center for kind actions. And we'll release and bow together to seal the practice. Thank you very much. I wish you all a lovely day and thanks for joining.
Thanks.